In this video, I'm going to share with you what it's been like being on YouTube for 2 years and making 100 videos. At the end of this video, I'll talk to you a little bit about being monetized and how that's going now. Hi, for those who don't know me, I'm Phaedra from Noble Flowers, and we have a YouTube channel right here, and we document our journey becoming flower farmers, and we're in our 3rd year of flower farming now. And as I mentioned earlier, we've got over 100 videos on our channel documenting that journey. So you can check those out if you haven't seen us before. If you've been here before, welcome back, and thank you so much for coming back and watching again. The first aspect of YouTubing that I want to talk about is why YouTube. And initially, I never intended to actually have a YouTube channel. I just got the idea one day. We'd started a flower farm, and I've been a photographer for over a decade now, and I really wanted to learn video. And I thought, if I start a YouTube channel, it's going to force me to learn video. I'm going to commit to releasing a video once a week, and I'll slowly get better, which has happened, and I have now learnt video and I'm getting a lot better at it. So then YouTube became a way for us to document our journey as flower farmers and to document everything on our flower farm. And it's been really handy. We can go back and look at our journey. People are enjoying watching us on here, and it's a niche that I think is kind of small on YouTube, which is helpful, and we just really love it. Now, the point of this video is to talk to you about the 100 video thing. When I first started YouTube, I would sort of scour YouTube looking for information from anybody who could tell me anything about how to do better, how to get more views, how to get monetized, how to get more subscribers. And honestly, I don't think anybody really truly knows what they're talking about unless they're the guy that, or the girl that writes the algorithm for YouTube. I just don't think really anybody, they can give you helps of what to do to improve things, but I don't think really anybody can tell you what exactly is going on with that algorithm. But something I did hear over and over and over was make 100 videos. Get your first 100 videos on YouTube. Like, you hear it in a whole heap of different ways. So I just thought, okay, that's just going to be my first goal. Well, not my first goal. My first goal was to learn how to edit a video, which I did. But then I just wanted to get those 100 videos on YouTube. And what happened next? Nothing. In the back end of YouTube, there's a home page for the YouTube studio for the creators, and often little achievements will pop up, you know, like your first 100,000 views and things like that. So I'm kind of expecting there to be something when you do 100 videos. There's nothing. There's absolutely nothing. There's nothing that changes. You just keep going. But for me, the value that I did see in creating 100 videos is the things that I actually learnt about YouTube. Personally, I learned that I can stick to something for 2 years. It's taken me 2 years to get that 100 videos up. And for me, that is a pretty big accomplishment. And it says to me that this is something that I'm going to continue with, and I am committed to it. And I still enjoy it after 100 videos. So for me, that's huge. As I said before, it was a way to document our journey here on the flower farm. And it was also a way for me to learn how to edit videos. And after editing 100 videos, you have a pretty good idea about what you're doing and what your style is. The other thing that 100 videos has taught me is how to understand the YouTube analytics a lot better. I've spent a lot of time in the back end of YouTube looking at the analytics. I analyze every video I put out, and it really does tell you information about how you're doing and how you can do better. And after 100 videos of doing that, you really do get a good sense of what your audience enjoys, which for me has been very interesting, because some of the things that I thought you, as my viewers, would like, you haven't really liked. And things that I thought could get me, you know, more subscribers, didn't get me more subscribers. And it is a little bit of a guessing game, and there's been a lot of experimentation, but after 100 videos, you've kind of like narrowed things down, and I feel like it gives you a better grasp on the direction that you can head in with way more information than what you started with when you had 1 or 2 or 10 videos right in the beginning, when you don't really know how people are going to respond to what you're doing. Something else that was interesting about 100 videos is the things that you learn about yourself. And watching yourself on video over and over and over, you notice so many little things that I feel like you don't know unless you're watching videos about yourself. Things like the words that you use when you're speaking. I am so conscious now of cutting out ums and ahs and saying like all the time. That is just part of our vocabulary now, and to me it makes me cringe when I hear myself saying that in, you know, every sentence. I'm much better at public speaking now, after I stuttered just then, but I'm much better at public speaking because I'm conscious for 100 videos, I've been conscious of trying to cut out the ums. I've also noticed things about myself, such as the way I walk. I kind of picked up this odd sort of gait in, I don't know, recent years, and I think it's after having kids. I never would have realized that unless I was watching myself on video. You notice little things like, I won't point them out, but little things about your, you know, little marks or scars and things that you just didn't know were there. And it's, for me, a little bit fascinating to get to know yourself in a way that people looking at you know you. We don't often know ourselves in that way. So that's something that wasn't expected from being on YouTube, but I've kind of enjoyed getting to know myself a little bit better. What I want to talk about now are the video stats. I think some of my regular viewers may find this interesting. It's not something that a lot of people talk about. They just continue on with their channels, and we don't hear much about what goes on and what we see in the back end of YouTube, because there actually is a lot of information about our audience that you may not know is being shared with us. It's nothing personal. There's nothing identifiable about particular people. It's just generic stuff that gives us a picture of how our content is being received and how people are interacting with it. So I'll go through a few little things that I look out for that I find a little bit fascinating. So here we are in the YouTube studio, which is the creator's back end of YouTube. And as you can see, my audience is mainly 35 to 54-year-olds, which I kind of assumed would be the case. I've got almost no 18 to 24-year-olds and very minimal 65 plus. And I know that 18 to 24-year-olds make up a lot of YouTube. But this is sort of my demographic, my own demographic. So, well, let's be more specific. It's in here, but that kind of makes sense to me. And the other thing is, it's mainly females. So I'll just show you that. We've got 16% male, 83% female. This is just of people that are subscribed to my channel. Something else I love to look at is the geographies, where people are in the world. And my channel is, you know, almost the same amount of Australia as it is the United States. And I love my international audience. I love my US audience. I love going to the USA. I can't wait to get back there again. So hello to you all. Thank you so much for watching. It is touching to me that there's a US audience that are interested in watching this Aussie over in Australia on this kind of junky looking flower farm. So thank you. And then the other geographies that are watching along are, so the UK, the rest are pretty small, but the UK, Canada, New Zealand, Portugal, India, and Mexico, and then Philippines, and then it drops below 0.1%. With the back end of YouTube Studio, you can sort of tell how a video goes, and you can tell if it's something that your audience really likes to watch. I recently changed sort of, not the way I edit, but the way, well, it is kind of the way I edit. And I just made some very small tweaks to try to bring up a graph called retention. And I'll show you that. The retention. So this is a retention graph, and the gray is the typical retention, and then the blue is how this video is performing. And these little tweaks I've made have really pushed up my retention, which is really good. And you can see the top moment is right at the end of the video, which was a drop off in in previous videos. You can see all sorts of things like how many subscribers you got from each video, so you can really tell if the video was something that people loved and they want to come back and see more. I did find a video I've got the other day, it's got no subscribers. It attracted nobody. So that says to me it's a video that people are watching and they're not loving it enough to want to subscribe to the channel and watch more of that type of video. So in doing 100 videos, you do get an idea of that sort of thing. If you trial something and it kind of really bombs, you may not want to go back and do that again unless it's something that you absolutely feel like that's the direction of your channel and you want to try and build momentum on that. But I just sort of experiment now and again with little bits and pieces just to see how they go. And I don't want to say what it is because it's just going to ruin it for the current people who've been watching my videos. But there's one little thing that I've started doing in videos. It'll get a massive spike on that retention. It'll get a massive spike on that retention graph and it'll get subscribers. So, and it is sort of the tiniest little tweak I made to videos, and I actually got the idea from Mr. Beast. I was watching him talk about something. Can't even remember what the video, he's got so many videos about him talking about making YouTube videos, and it was just something he said in a video and I'm like, oh, that gives me an idea, I'm going to try this. If you're making YouTube videos and you're not learning about the YouTube studio, get onto it. Figure out what each thing means and how you can use it to build your channel. All right, so the next topic is, how do I film? I've actually got a very easy, compact and simple way of filming my videos, and I use my iPhone. And as you can see, all my videos on my channel are in 4K. That's completely possible and doable on your iPhone. You may need to upgrade and get more storage. I ended up buying a newer iPhone and paid for the most storage I could afford on an iPhone. And it kind of still works out cheaper than buying a DSLR with the lens kits, which I know is cheaper because I have been a professional photographer for over a decade. Like I said, I know how much that gear costs. It is by far cheaper to use your iPhone and it's so convenient. For everything I have fits in a tiny little backpack. I've got my iPhone, I've got the little Rode mic, which I've just hidden under here for now. And I've got a very small light, which you can see the reflection right here. It's just a little LED panel light, and some tripods, a drone, and I think that's it. I could show you that in a different video if anyone's interested. There's some settings you've got to set up on your phone to make it film for 4K compatibility, but it really does go to show you can start a YouTube channel. I could be filming this on my DSLR, but it's just so much effort. And every time I want a different shot, I've got to change a lens. So I just don't want to do that. I want it to be quick and easy. I want to grab my backpack, which you can't see right now, and go. And I'm on the road or in the field or whatever I'm doing, and I've got all my gear with me. At the moment, I haven't been planning videos. I don't script anything. Right now, I've got my iPad with some dot points so I can remember what I'm talking about. I will do that in some of these type of videos. Otherwise, I'm kind of on the fly, and it really is sort of like a vlog style channel about flower farming. And some of the how-to videos are obviously a bit more planned, but I did think going into 2023, I will spend a little bit more time, and we've decided to add that into our weekly business meeting to talk about what is happening on YouTube that week, because it is starting to get a little bit more serious, which is really good. Something that may or may not be interesting for those that have been watching along. Each video, I usually keep it around 20 minutes. That is the sweet spot for my channel. That's from what I'm seeing on the YouTube Studio analytics. That does seem to be what you as my viewers enjoy the most. When I do a short one, I almost feel like it disappoints you a little bit. And when I do a really long one, last week's video was longer. It's doing pretty good, but it's a farm tour and they're different. They will attract people that want to see in detail what's going on. But the weekly vlog stuff, I keep it around 20 minutes. But in saying that, those 20 minutes of video that you see have taken me about 2 hours, 1.5 to 2 hours of filmed video to edit down to those 20 minutes. So I'm actually filming a lot of content to bring you that 20 minutes. So that's the kind of work involved behind the scenes. And those 2 hours, 1.5 to 2 hours of content that I've filmed have usually taken the best part of the week prior to film those bits and pieces. And those 20 minutes will often be made up of around 100 clips of video. So there's a lot of content that I will film to get a video that's that engaging and informative or funny or whatever's going on that day on the video. There's a lot of filming and content that goes into those 20 minutes. Okay, so the big question that some of you have come here specifically to see is about monetization. I started YouTube back into the end of 2020. It's now the end of 2022, and I was monetized about 6 months ago. So it took me 18 months to get monetized. My channel just grew very slowly, which I'm okay about because I feel like the people who subscribed organically did that. They wanted to be here, and I really appreciate that. I love having an audience who loves to be here. For me, that is really meaningful, and it actually helps my retention and stats. This is content that my audience love to watch, and I love my audience, and I'm getting to know different people from comments that they leave, and I feel like it's a really nice community that's developing because it is like a very slow snowball. If you've come here desperate to know how long it's going to take you to get monetized or how much money you're going to make when you do get monetized, no one can tell you that. There are people on YouTube who think they can tell you that. There are platforms that you can go and search another channel to ask how much they make, and it'll kind of spit you out an estimation. I did that for myself to see what they're saying, and it was very wrong. So I don't really trust those estimations very much. It's a very private information usually for YouTubers about how much money they're making. And the other thing is, in terms of knowing what's going to happen for you, you could do the exact same thing that I'm doing and have a completely different outcome. There's so much behind it. It depends on your demographics of your audience, so their age, their gender, what country they're in. And these are sort of things that are out of our hands. We might think that we can target a particular audience, which you can target a particular audience, but whether that's who you're going to actually reach is a very sort of wild guess. The other thing that can impact your channel is advertisers are willing to pay more for views on some videos and not on others. So on my own channel, I'll show you what I mean. So this video came out September last year, so it's been over a year. This is the video that's got the most views on my channel. So it's got, just over 21,000 views. And I'll show you so this is how much advertisers are paying per, there you go, how much an advertiser pays every 1,000 times ads are shown on your videos. This is how much I get from that, and this is how much I've made on this video since it was published right in the beginning. So contrast that with a video such as this. This is a very similar video that I did more recently. That was in October this year. Advertisers are paying $30 per 1,000 ads, and I'm getting $15.50 for each one of that. So I've made $14.50 since October on this video. And all up, it's had less than 1,000 views. So it's not doing too bad. And here's another video. This is a couple of weeks ago. It's got still under 1,000 views, but advertisers are paying $44.50. This can change daily too. So this isn't always going to sit on that, but at the moment that's what they're paying. I'm getting $25, just over $25 per 1,000 views. So it's made $20 in a couple of weeks. So December 10. Something that does suck a little bit is before you get monetized, there's none of that information about revenue. You'll have no idea how much you're going to get paid, and it can often take a very long time. So it's a marathon, it's not a race. And just to finish off this video, just, if you're wanting to do YouTube, just hop on there, enjoy the journey, find your voice, be yourself, just look at it as it's going to take time to get there. For most people, it takes time. Very few people go viral very quickly. And my initial goal was to be monetized within 3 years, and I did it in 1.5 years. So for me, I felt pretty happy about that. But there was no telling what was going to happen, and it can be really hard to just keep putting videos out every week and wondering when you're going to start getting paid for it. And it's small amounts of money in the beginning. So just hang in there. You don't need to compare yourself to anyone else. Unlike me, who saw this. I saw myself pop up next to Mr. Beast yesterday. I couldn't help but take this screenshot because there's just such a massive difference between the views between someone massive on YouTube and somebody who's fairly new. But it just kind of made me laugh a little bit. Spend your first 100 videos learning how to do this. Learn how to speak to the camera, learn how to keep looking at the camera, not looking at yourself. There's a very big difference between that. And engage with your audience, let your personality shine. Try to just enjoy the journey. And it really is true, those first 100 videos are going to teach you so much about YouTube and yourself, what your audience like, and hopefully, like me, you'll make some really nice friends along the way. And I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you've got something out of it. Give me a like if you did find this helpful. And I would love if you want to follow along with our journey on the flower farm. So subscribe if you'd like to do that. And hopefully I'll see you next week.